What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We back at it again for another wonderful episode of Dot Connect Wednesdays. This is episode 78. We're going over Deepseek AI, DEI, and a couple other updates that's going on in the cryptocurrency space right now that's pivotal. So without further ado, I'm Champ Bobbitt, Steve Bayonne. Steve, let's get to it, bro.
All right, let's go. All right, guys. So a couple things. When we are presenting and we're talking about just all types of information, we are realizing that there are people in here of different levels of cryptocurrency knowledge, right? Everything from beginner to advanced, right? So when we do our dot connects, they're really for more of an intermediate and advanced person. And we get that you might feel a little bit left out, but you just have to go through everything that everybody else went through, which would be the courses. So from time to time, we like to give our projects just for people to kind of look into. And what I've been reading in the comments, anytime we drop a project is, where do I buy it? The first question should be, where do I research it? Right. So that just shows me that you're ready to just pull the trigger on anything Champ and I say. And it just doesn't work like that. Like, you have to really do your own due diligence and come up with the reasons why you want to buy the actual project or not. We're just presenting you with data and information. Even if I said I invested a big bag in it, like, that's just what I'm doing, right? That big bag could have came from a liquidation of something else. Like, you don't know. We're on different pages now. I've been in crypto for a little while now, so there's constantly money flowing into that market. We just dropped a FOMO course for all members, right? It's the psychology of just trading, guys. At the end of the day, we did it for futures, and I felt the need to do it for cryptocurrency because I'm noticing that time is of the essence. And when you guys are acting like there's a shot clock on this thing, you're gonna pull triggers and you're gonna make mistakes, right? So definitely get through the FOMO course. We actually sat it before the 5-part foundation. I just felt like it was a good entry into just the mindset, right? Because everybody coming in right now is just like ready to get to it, and I'm super happy you guys are here. So Champ and I came up with a new format for the beginners, but you have to do the work. All right. So not only do you get the 5-part foundation, right? That's the standalone, but the FOMO is going to sit above that, and then you go through the 5-part foundation, and then we're going to get into Exchange 101. That's going to help you with security on the exchanges that we recommend. And then we're going to go into cold storage 101. That's just to kind of give you guys, we're going to work through a psychology of cold storage because I'm noticing there's a lot of fear with unwrapping that thing. If you got it in hand and you ordered it, you got to open it. Right. So we're going to have a course for you guys. And I feel by the time you get through those, you'll be ready to start playing ball with us in these type of, higher level conversations. And you might be ready for both. So I'm not saying that just because you're a beginner, you can't wrap your head around it, but you have to get through the courses. We're looking at the analytics, and it's telling us what it's telling us. So we're not just making things up. Just get through the courses, guys. Just slow down. We have time. All right. The other thing is, when we're on these calls, the customer service part of it, we just can't do it in the chat, even though we have a moderator. Let's keep the questions to the subject matter. We're also going to limit the amount of people that we call up because sometimes what happens is we may be talking about one thing and then they're like, oh, this is off topic. And then it just like, it completely takes everybody off. So we're looking to just get on these calls and then get off these calls just to deliver information so you guys could just easily digest it and not have to deal with a big Q&A session. We will have Q&A sessions every month for sure. And then you can just have at it. But Q&A sessions show me that there is 99% of the questions you guys ask are inside of the academy. Right. So we are simplifying things, making sure you guys can find things. And I don't mind answering something, but I've seen the data and I'm just like, you got to find it. Right. That's how Champ and I learn. That's how most of our that's how the entire academy learns. So you're not being penalized for being late. It's just the accountability piece. Okay. We're opening up our booking calendar for one-on-ones. So if you guys do want to just kind of fast forward and you want to have at it, then it won't be for like portfolio management. It'll be for help with certain things. Like, we're not going to tell you what coins to buy and what to spend. It's nothing like that. It is for that person who just needs the assistance with the cold storage wallet or with some exchange practices, where something just doesn't really connect, then you just pay to get access to us. Things are just getting a lot busier for both of us now. So we have to be mindful of our time and the amount that we actually put out.
Yeah.
You're still going to get super value. Trust me on that. Now, where you want to start? DEI?
Yeah, we first Kurt jumped on a call. Crypto insight. He
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Kurt,
All
what's
right. So
good, baby?
we'll get him with the we'll get him when we start the crypto talk.
Bet. Uh,
Um Deepseek, you want to grab that or you
Yeah, we can. We'll tag team it because I mean I don't have all the talking points that I want to have for it, but I do want to bring this up because this is a pivotal moment, one in time and in process. So let's just dive right into it.
all right,
So
let's get the let's get the DEI out the way first because
oh, okay,
that's not tech. That's just kind of what's floating around right now. So I just want to kind of put it in perspective for some people.
that's
And
great.
listen, you verify everything that I'm saying here. All right. So DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay. The only reason I'm addressing this is because when Trump was nominated, I told the Academy, I said, listen, let's stay the course. This is a crypto friendly president and administration. Let's stay out of the other stuff, the emotions, right? Because the emotions are going to take up space. All right. And then you're going to miss a lot of messages when you get stuck in the emotions. So they're throwing a whole bunch of emotions out. So this guy comes in, he's just wiping things out. So DEI is a big one, right? So when you think of DEI, you think of what? Black and brown people, right? If we could eat black and brown people, all right? So diversity, equity, and inclusion. Before DEI, we had what? Affirmative action, which is no longer there again. You think of black people, but I'm not going to go to affirmative action because it's not there anymore. So when they came out with the DEI program, here's what you guys have to realize. They are playing with your emotions from the start. Because even when you look at the word minority, minority now is a white male in America. It's been like that. But if you're not following the trends and you're not following the numbers to see how they come underneath this to get the funding, then you just think like minority it belongs to us. No, they create these words and they create meaning behind the words. The issue is they'll throw something out there and we never validate what they're saying. DEI had nothing to do with black people. And I'm going to tell you why. This is directly stats from the Department of Labor. All right. So the number one recipient for DEI, and put in the chat if you notice, who is the number one recipient for DEI? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Who do you think is the number one recipient? What
I
do we
got
have?
two responses for sure. I got to flood it. White women.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about it. All right. So let's start getting out of our emotions right now. It's a handout program at the end of the day that they hijacked. Okay. So the second way that the Department of Labor classifies DEI, right, is other categories. So it's white women, majority, and then other categories. So I'm going to go through the other categories. Number one under the other categories is Latino and Hispanics. Number two is Asian Americans. So for my black folks out there, just wait. I'm going to get to y'all in a minute. Number three is Native Americans. Number four is individuals with disability. Number five is veterans. Number six is LGBTQ plus community. And guess who's last?
Black people.
Black people. Get out your feelings. It wasn't set up for us. The way they presented it, it was, but it wasn't set up for us. You didn't lose anything. What you did gain was the ability to create for self, right? Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. I have friends who are in corporate America. They're more affected by it because they're one of many. Like they're one of least. They're just like a token. This is these guys work in big firms. They get paid. They're underpaid. They can't speak up for themselves, right? Because then they get labeled the angry black man or woman. So they have to play the role. And these are my friends. You understand? And we're talking about like base salary could be an M. and they still can't, they have to conform in a particular way. So they feel, I'm always like, listen, but when you're one, they could always replace you. And they're underpaid based on what their counterparts make. And I'm talking about guys who are like have higher levels and younger guys that come in or younger women will come into the firm and they would
Mhm.
literally have a higher pay grade than them. Where's the inclusion in that? I'm just asking.
Right there.
There's not too many people of our kind that actually create institutions that actually become multimillionaires from that, right? We could have high paying celebrities, high paying athletes. But when you think about people who actually create institutions to hire and just big business, there's not too many billionaires, right? Just
Exactly.
look at the Forbes list. But when you look at the spending power of the Black and brown community, it's just like, wow, we are an economy. The people who gave us the problems can't solve our problems for us. This is why I've never conformed to like going out to work for people. I'm just wired like that, one. But two, it's just like, nah, no way. It's just not in me. And I'm pretty sure I could probably be worth a good amount of money if I put myself on the market right now. I was just never interested in it. That just wasn't my path. So I have friends and we constantly talk about this stuff, and they're happy that this day came, right? So when they go back to merit-based society, guys, just stop, man. You're just stirring a pot that's already been stirred. Like you're just making it hotter. You're not ready to do anything. These guys built the country. It's always been their rules and regulations. Understand? So when I look at our leaders of the past, and that's the thing, we don't really have a lot of strong leadership. We're not talking about the Reverend Al Sharptons, the Jesse Jacksons. Those guys they're clipped out of here.
Mhm.
Who's up next? So
Yeah.
when you look at Martin and Malcolm, right? They came up under um it's already kind of inclusion at that point now, right? But when you go back to Black Wall Street, right? We weren't really together at that point. It was nation building. You understand? So when you start to, and there's history in this. Like I'm going back to Detroit when I was looking at real estate and hearing stories from people, before we got to being included, right? Because this is what we wanted. But now realizing that these guys are playing 1,000-year game with us right now. Enough of the handouts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Enough of the handouts. We have to clip a lot of the spending. It just has to be done. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of wasteful spending. And the thing too about the spending is what you guys don't realize is the money doesn't really go where you think it goes. So when I followed the HBCU money, the $17 billion that this president, you guys almost voted in, uh, Harris, coming from a HBCU, the first 11.5 billion of that didn't even go to HBCUs. This is all money laundering at the end of the day. That's what this government does. They put out this number and they tell you, oh, 17 billion is going to go here. And we can't validate any of it because we're not going any further. We just stay on the headline. But when you watch the spending, man, if they got 1.5 billion, they would have got lucky. It's always so much more in that spending bill, right? It doesn't just go exclusively to HBCUs. I have friends who have kids who are at Howard. And they talk about no AC, rodents running around. It's like that's one of our biggest institutions. How come they
Same.
need government funding? Why don't they just invest in communities, build that up, and then they'll get the best talent? And then when you form the talent, you don't let them go to certain Fortune 500 companies. You start to build institutions within. Duke University does this. A lot of high level universities do this. So when these guys come out and they went to Duke and they started Coinbase, guess what? Guess who's the first investor? The institution. So we keep allowing ourselves to get poached, right? So now what you do? You start to separate, right? They're taking the best talent. Enough of that, guys. We got to start looking within, and that dollar got to circulate a little bit more than like 3 seconds in the community. The spending power is there. So it's not like we don't know how to earn. We just don't know how to circulate it amongst ourselves. And they know that too. This revolution is not racial. If y'all want to go race war, y'all bugging because I'm out of that one. It's just not enough skillful guys out there. So I'm holding out my fort. Right? They are ready for that. So if y'all want to go that route, good luck. Good luck. I mean that.
Yeah.
But if you want to go the financial route, that's the one. That's the one right there because all they care about is their money. And they can't tell you where to spend your money. But listen, if you don't understand this cryptocurrency thing and fast, they're going to control where you spend your money. Trust me on that one. There's going to be a time limit. That's how they're going to stimulate the economy. And if you tell me that these guys wouldn't wire the money to their pockets, then you're bugging.
Yeah.
So when we tell you there's urgency, it's not urgency to buy XRP. It's not urgency to buy XYZ. That's not a coin. I'm just saying. I just didn't want to go too deep. There's no urgency in that. The urgency really is understanding the technology and figuring out ways to not be trapped because it is the ultimate surveillance tool. So that's why we say take the cold, get it on cold storage. If you bought your cold storage and you did KYC on it, start over. Send that thing back to the exchange. Buy a new cold storage wallet, like throw that whole thing out and then start over. Do not use cold storage wallets for on-ramping. I don't care how convenient you think the thing is. Keep it as cold as possible. All right. So we're here to teach you how to run your own bank, how to get out of systems. And then you guys are still fighting to be included in the systems. All of it has to be, I tell my wife, control, alt, delete. Like, yo, erase all of it. It's the easiest way. And then we start over from a blank canvas. But really, at the end of the day, we are not reading these laws that they put in place that you think is there for your benefit. It's our birthright to just be. So just because the Democratic Party, you felt like they gave you freedom, come on, man. That's not that's what we were supposed to have. So I'm not giving you no credit on that. And I told you, if I was going to cast a vote this year, it was because of one particular thing, and it was cryptocurrency. And why? Because when that thing, my wallets woke up, one, and I knew that was going to happen. Two, you will see how much money is going to pour in here. And if the revolution is financial, wouldn't we just want to be in a good financial state to be able to fight a revolution? Because I'm not pulling out tools. I'm telling you that now.
Yeah, right.
I'm
It's
not.
money to fight for.
They are stirring the pot, guys, and you guys are falling victim to it. All you have to do is no matter what Trump does, is look at the opposite side of it and then go look exactly what that law does and who it was benefiting. That's all I'm asking you to do. Just keep an open mind, right? Because once you're closed off to certain things, you're only going to hear what the legacy media tells you. And we know that that shit is dead. Now I hear today the White House is inviting influencers, podcasters, and I'm like, I put it out. I was like, yo, damn, should I apply for this? I might not get clearance for it. I'm just letting you know that now. But Champ, you might definitely get in.
I'm with it. Let's go.
Like, shit, one of us got to be in that room. I'll let you go because I'm not even, my shit a little wacky. But I don't know. Who knows, right? I'm gonna try it. We're both gonna apply. And Ray Fuentes, that's our guy. He looked like he's about to be in there.
That's spook. Yeah, we
Yeah.
need that. Shout out to Ray.
Guys, that's the data behind the DEI. Just go ahead and go research that. All right. There's nothing that really benefits Black America in white America. I'm be honest with you. It's just I've been around the block a few times. And if you think it's about somebody giving you an opportunity, he who giveth, taketh. That's why I can say what I say or whatever I feel. And not being disrespectful, just I have friends who are like, damn, Steve, I admire that you could say this, but my employer, if they heard me, I'm like, what? It's like, bro, so you can't even be you. And this is the problem that we have today, because not only were we being silenced with the last administration, but there's so many people who work that have to follow rules and guidelines. It's like, yo, at what point are you just going to be a person with an opinion that matters?
That matters. Right.
I can't stand on this front line and have everybody just kind of sitting back like whatever. I'm doing this for my kids. I'm not doing this for adults. Like you see the stuff is wacky out here. Call it out. Don't be scared of these schools. Look, he rolls back everything. Now everybody's brave. Everybody's brave. Now it's male and female. Everybody's brave now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on, guys. Like it shouldn't even went that far. We got to start pushing back from the beginning. DEI, no more time spent on that. So if you think
Yo,
you're missing opportunity from DEI, then I apologize for you because you're missing a lot more than just the opportunity that you think somebody's going to afford you. That's why we teach investing in emerging markets. So you could have options when you have a nice wallet and you know how to maneuver. Because let's be honest, put a one in the chat if you really want to be at the job that you're at right now. Be honest. And put a two if you love what you do. And that's fine. That's it.
yeah.
Most people don't, we kind of did, even with me with the academy, it's like, this isn't like what I wake up to want to do every day. Sometimes we're just doing things because we just have to do it. So that's the DEI situation. What's next?
No, you killed that. Um,
Appreciate that.
you want to dive into Deepseek?
Yeah, I'll just go quick over it because I ain't going too deep with that, but I'm gonna tell you this. What you saw was exposure, right? Again, I keep telling you, if we don't have representation at the table, these guys are just running up the score. That's what these tech guys do. They just blow through money, right? So the Chinese showed you that they can do something at a fraction of the cost and a lot better with less technology at their disposal because they cut them off from having those high-powered chips.
Yeah.
This is all made up foolery at the end of the day. More money laundering. That's it. It's all money laundering. That's like if we had investors and people wanted to throw money at us and Champion I was just like, yo, we need $10 billion for the academy. We'll enrich ourselves. We got smoked by China. Smoked. $1 trillion left of the financial market. And we're still like kind of not there yet. You understand? Nvidia, and we told you, is holding up the entire stock market. This stock market is due an 80% crash, guys. It's been overbought. It's due a nasty, nasty nosedive. So when you see the guys with money, they've pulled out the market a long time ago. Like, go look at Warren Buffett's holdings. He's out of Bank of America. He's out of a lot of tech companies. Where do you think he's going now? When they leave, when they exit the tech, where do you think they're going after that? If tech is supposed to be what takes us where? So you look at the landscape of cryptocurrency. You know what I heard this week? I heard the amount of American-made cryptocurrency companies that are opening up offices in California, New York, and DC. I also, a couple of my students came on and they showed me some listings, job listings from these places that were showing the amount of money that Ripple is paying for programmers. And it was starting at $188,000. So I'm
Who
seeing a
told
whole different reality right now than what people are seeing.
who been told him that? Who been told him this was coming?
Shit, you have, the academy has, I have.
You
But
have
that's without question. I'm just telling you that if you guys want to connect dots, just look at where the money's leaving and just follow where the money's going, right? Because none of these guys could no longer say cryptocurrency is a scam. I haven't heard that in like months.
it's over for that.
And so
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
if you say that, you're just sounding crazy right now. Even
Yeah.
Jerome Powell today, he made some claims on it's okay for banks and this and just be safe, right?
Mhm.
Within the next month, you will start buying cryptocurrency from banks. And it's probably going to be the big five first, for sure.
Yeah.
Bitcoin, I would say by next week, you're going to start to buy Bitcoin from banks. The central banks have already said it's not a threat to us. Because once they have the banks, they kind of have, they're kind of in.
Yeah.
So why would you want to leave your stuff in with the banks again? We're just entering a time now where you can either have full autonomy over your shit or you continue to do business the same way. because they know a majority of us are going to do what? Keep our head down, go to work, come home, be too tired to even like think about anything. And once Saturday, Sunday comes, it's like, oh, we just kick our feet up and then we're just watching sports and doing whatever.
Yeah.
They know American culture and they keep us entertained. I'm just telling you that I'm off that because I've been so focused on cryptocurrency and so focused on what the next moves are that I could finally see a light at the end of the tunnel. Right? For the first time, I can see a light at the end of the tunnel. I am designing it the same way that I'm building it.
Mhm.
So if I sold my real estate portfolio, that means what is he doing next? Not just letting it sit in the bank. No, it went to crypto and then it's going out the country to emerging markets. So you see our ability to buy on these exchanges are being affected right now. They're forcing us right back to the banks. And how convenient is it going to be for you to buy XRP at Bank of America? Super convenient, right? It'll be convenient for me if the fee is right, because Coinbase is already killing us,
Hell yeah.
right? If the fee is right, then I'll make the purchase there, and then I'm getting it right off. But you have to be careful because when Robinhood and those guys first came out, they didn't have wallets where you could move stuff off. That didn't come for like a year later.
Yeah.
You might F around and find out that when you buy that Bitcoin, they might not be a wallet address attached to that stuff. And I can see that's because that banks keep liquidity with themselves and then they use the liquidity to make money. So be careful with those banks. So back to this deep situation, it is money laundering, guys. It doesn't take that much. And then what do? They attack them. There's a cyber attack. Like this China US war thing is getting out of hand now.
Yeah.
It's getting out of hand now. This you're watching two superpowers duel with each other. And we're not spearheading it. And the reason we're not spearheading it is because in the last 4 years they decided to just concentrate on things that were just keeping us distracted as opposed to building uh innovation and giving people opportunity through innovation. I hear Meta's being taxed like $80 billion a year in Europe. I'm like, yo, we got to start taxing these tech guys at the end of the day. They're utilizing our data to make money. They're bigger than banks.
Yeah.
If you think putting your money in a bank and just letting it sit there is dumb now with the information we have, just think about all the data that we give these guys that we don't get anything back in return for. That's another reason why I teach cryptocurrency, because I see the decentralization in the technology. So if we could all move to decentralized apps, but then I also saw that the internet was decentralized and we allowed them to centralize it somehow. So we're going to keep supporting Meta. We're going to keep supporting X. We're going to keep our dollars and our attention at those platforms. If you want to make changes, just log off of it. Let's just tell me when.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of like making Redbox big because they told you don't go to TikTok. Like, do you see how they have us like totally in control? So I go back to that the quote I heard from the girl from China. She says Americans think they're free because they have opinions, but they have no choices. And I'm starting to see that we don't have no choices. It's all ran by the same person. There's no choices. The same guy that owns Bank of America is the same guy that owns JP Morgan Chase, the same guy that owns everything leads to BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard.
Vanguard. Yep.
It is a conflict of interest when you own pharmaceutical and you own, the medical practices and food and drugs. It doesn't go together. It is a conflict of interest for people that love money. Why wouldn't I own Food and Drug Administration? Why wouldn't Food and Drug Administration be in the same office? That's genius for making money.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
everything causes cancer. Why do you think everything causes cancer today? Because of the data that's coming out from the vaccine. So then it's like, whoa, 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 wait. You drink alcohol. Yo, you smoke cigarettes. Oh, Red 40. Oh, you eat Skittles. Nobody's winning those court cases. But I mean, some of the data is a little crazy out there.
Yeah.
But again, everything causes cancer now. Why? All of a sudden, why? And this was before Trump came into office. I don't want to hear RFK. No, they didn't, nothing. He hasn't even been approved yet.
Yeah.
They trying to smoke him.
He on their neck too. You need that.
This is the day. So when I tell you that D.E.I is going to be one of the biggest narratives in cryptocurrency, don't put in the comments. anything. Just write it down. D.E.I, DESCI. Anytime you hear D, it's decentralized. Just research top D.E.I products or projects. That's it. We'll get into that stuff, but I want you guys to, I want to empower you guys to find the information. This is decentralized science. This is exactly what we need. We need to be able to see everything that they're doing, all ingredients and everything that's back behind it. Because right now, when they talk about trusted science, science has been bought and sold, and we're paying for the science. That's the crazy part about it.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if we weren't paying for it and all this was like private shit, and then we just had to make a decision. But they're mandating us to do certain things. They're mandating us to say, "Oh, if you don't do this for your kid, they can't go to school." I'm not from that school of thought of we don't have options. And I'm hoping that you guys do the same thing because it is making it hard and harder when people just don't have an opinion. Look at all the people winning the cases. This lady just won $17 million because she didn't want to take the vaccine. They're cleaning house right now in court. Some people took a burger, some people took fries, some people took weed. I'm like, what? I was shocked, man. I'm like, damn, am I human? And I'm not taking nothing away from anybody who did it. The fear was real. You know what I'm saying? But there was some tactics that was done to our people where it was just like, wait a minute, nah, this ain't even it. Why do you have such an invested interest in my health right now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I knew it from the start, but I'm a logical guy. So it's like, wait, so hold on. So alcohol, what was that thing that you used to say? Essential. So all liquor stores were essential,
Mention essential.
right? Cigarettes, everything was essential at the time. It's just like, wait a minute, it's a lung situation. Why don't we ban smoking? That would have been the opportune time, right?
Yep.
Then I would have said, damn, maybe they would have probably caught more people if they were like, yo, we got to stop this, we got to stop this, we got to stop this, and you got to take this. Just common sense, right? Because it's coming back around again. We're gonna be dealing with this again. And I'm more preventative than anything else. So it's like, listen, we just got to work on what we got to work on. We just have to do better. Because if they're telling us that this thing right here kills us or can possibly do whatever, let's stay away from that. Like, what draws you even closer to it? That's because we don't know the chemical makeup of what makes the thing addictive. That's why I give grace, because I know that these guys are very powerful in what they do in their messages. I have a friend who, diet wise, chef, all that stuff. And he's just like, Styles, he calls me Styles. He's like, Styles, when I leave my house, it's far easier for me to pull into a drive through than it is for me to find healthy options.
Yeah.
And it's just that. It's the convenience culture that's killing us. Man, put me in DC at that press conference. I would rep for all of us. They'd be like, man, this guy is wild.
Smoke their boots.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Every time. I
Yep.
wanted to be in with the last administration, though, not this one.
Yeah.
But I'll
'Cause they-
smoke this one too, because I see the inefficiencies.
yeah. All
Make
right.
us the crypto czars. Straight up.
We got it covered.
It's top to bottom. We don't need no help. All right, guys, listen. Champ, deep seek from your vantage point. What's going on here?
So
Money laundering.
I was a little blown away. So I'm gonna put this in context. Imagine a small group shaking up the world of artificial intelligence, challenging tech giants that are already existing with smarter, cheaper, and more efficient approaches. This is exactly what Deepseek AI did. So, for those of you who do not know, they're based in China, founded 2023. They specialize in large language models, right? The same kind of technology that's behind ChatGPT. But DeepSeek is different because their latest model, is called the R1. It its performance on par with some of the biggest names in AI, like ChatGPT, the GPT-4, but it was built at a fraction of the cost. So here's why this matters. So companies like OpenAI, they spend hundreds of millions of dollars training these models, and DeepSeek managed to create a alternative, a competitive, with just $6 million. That was a tenth of the cost. So basically, their technique behind it was called a mixture of experts. They made their AI smarter by using their own resources. Instead of activating all of the computing power all at once, it turns on what's needed for each individual task. So it makes things faster, cheaper, and more efficient in terms of AI. So on top of that, that's the icing. I mean, that's the cake. That's the foundation. Now here's the icing. So they didn't stop there. Instead of them keeping the AI locked behind a paywall, they open sourced it. So anybody, developers, researchers, competitors, anybody, they can access it and build on top of that technology. That's what made it a game changer. So it lowered the barrier for AI development and it pushed the industry forward like never before, right? And only um, a few companies dared to do so. Um, I think, I think when things like this happen, it's so powerful because it lets you know a couple of things, right? There's great minds that are at work across the world, right? You don't have to all be in one particular building, one setting to create something great and it have a large impact. But here's the thing, when you have technology that's moving at such a rapid pace and a rapid speed, and then you have brilliant minds that are curating and able to do things cheaper, faster, more efficient, and they're giving everybody exposure to it, it's a completely different ball game. That's the game changer. Hold on, let me let a couple people in real quick. That's actually the game changer. So after um after they released, right, it basically trumped Chat GPT in the App Store or the Android store. It was the number one downloaded app in terms of AI, right? And large language models. So it trumped everything else. It in turn caused the tech stocks and the stock market to dip tremendously, all on the sake of this just came out and they're like, whoa, this is going to impact the chips. So, of course, NVIDIA, NVIDIA is the reason the stock market is even standing. It has legs to stand on right now. That's really it. To just to be truth be told, you're still going to have your powerhouses, but when you think about it, this is the pivotal time. You got the pro crypto administration, but they also are geared towards artificial intelligence. So the goal is to make the United States the hub for cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence. But when you have situations like this, that's coming out of another country, that's quote unquote not an enemy, I wouldn't say, but an enemy. This is what you get. You get technological warfare. Now, the benefit that comes with that is war, right? But war is always about money. It's always about money and power. Those two things are always supposed to be at the forefront of your mind when you think of war. But this is a different type of war, right? The war is on the people. We get benefits from it, but there's just with everything that's a benefit, there's a con that comes along with it as well. The con is now people are going to be relying on this technology to enrich themselves, to progress themselves. They stop thinking, right, for self. You now lean on the technology, but we don't know where this information is originating from. We train these models because we're inputting data into it, right? We're giving it information. So as we feed it, it grows smarter. It kind of knows how we want things, how we expect things, the layout of certain things, and it will present information to us in that manner, right? But if you intentionally manipulate any of these systems to give you falsified information, right? To give you bad data, right? To point you in the wrong direction purposely, you're cooked because you're taught to lean on this technology. And that's one of the things that I feel like this is where it really gets interested with this whole Deepseek situation. Because if it can impact the AI world as a whole and then it impacts us, think about what it's doing to Wall Street. You've seen it. You've seen the impact. As soon as it dropped, the whole market tanked, right? Everything else is on borrowed time. That's why we tell you guys, like, this is the most opportune time, one, to learn this cryptocurrency stuff, learn about artificial intelligence, but also take a step back, right? I have this problem, right? This is a personal champ problem. And Steve, my wife, everybody, they identify this. I'm always so close to the information and so close to these events that go on that sometimes I don't have a wider vantage, right? So sometimes I have to take a beat, stop, and just kind of assess what's going on. I didn't look at from this paradigm until yesterday. Crypto czar, right? Crypto czar, he already had a background in AI and in cryptocurrency, right? He was already working with projects in the industry that are big names that do both. His position was created solely to push this mission forward of the United States being the hub. Now, when you think about that and you think about this competitor that just came out of nowhere, if this was created in 2023, that was just 2 years ago. For something 2 years ago to come out and disrupt and cause this type of impact on the tech that existed, think about what's about to come in the next couple of years. Think about the other countries who can quickly and easily deploy more information, more news. But now when you think about it, sit back and say, yo, I'm in a perfect position to benefit from this. Because one, I get the benefit of using this technology, seeing it emerge and get adopted, but I'm also now getting it at a lower barrier to entry. It's damn near free. All it took is for you to download it. And I was just surfing Twitter before the call. Somebody put up a post that basically said how you can input Deepseek onto your you can download it or whatever. You can utilize the technology without basically giving up certain data that's embedded into your computer, right? What this AI is doing is once you download the software and you utilize the software, it still has the capability of actually going into your computer, and it can pull, just like anything else, it can pull data and metadata from your devices. Now it has info on you. It's turning you into a product. Now it takes you, the product, and then it sells everything that in the world that you might like, making you a consumer, damn near a super consumer. But when you have these AI products that's doing things like this, and it is causing an impact, companies like NVIDIA, that they dominate the AI chip production. They saw billions that got wiped away in market value overnight. Investors are realizing AI can be built more efficiently, cheaper, with fewer resources, and the massive demand for these expensive chips and infrastructure could possibly slow down. And again, the only thing holding up the stock market is NVIDIA. So what happens if this big ass sell-off actually happens and this truly shakes up the stock market continuously from here out? What do you think is what's going to happen? You get a stock market crash. You get this big ass correction. Now, where would that money go? That
Cryptocurrency.
that money has to flow somewhere. Steve, say it again, please.
The money will go to cryptocurrency.
Let's go.
Remember that 600 billion he was getting from the Saudis? He was trying to get it up to $1 trillion. You no longer could put. Here's the thing. Tyler Perry was building that new studio, the expansion, right?
Mm-hmm.
When AI came out, what happened with that expansion? He clipped it. There are hundreds of millions of dollars. So this is what these guys are going to do. No investor in their sound mind is going to think that they're going to keep investing in these big innovations that this guy is coming up with. It's going to cryptocurrency. So when you think about that Bitcoin reserve or that crypto reserve, that thing could wipe out the national debt in a month.
Like that. And
so if you don't think that that's the only thing, and listen, I'm not saying that there can't be an attack on a blockchain, and before you know it, I don't know what's next. I'll be scratching my head at that point. Yeah. But I'm just telling you that this technology right here is the only thing that's going to save us. And everybody knows this. Everybody in the institutional world knows this. All the pension fund, the wealth managers, you name it, they all know this. Even our government knows this. So how much more selling do we have to keep doing in this academy before people start to realize, like, where follow the money? I've never met a culture of people who love money that never follow the money. It's chasing a bag. Those counterparts don't even use those words. They don't chase money. They don't chase money. It comes to them.
Right.
And they cheat too, but I'm just saying in general, we have to kind of retool, what words we use. Because anytime you chase something, what is it doing?
Running away from you is fleeting.
Can you see why we be on this rabbit hole? Like, we're constantly going down this thing. This is why we did the 4-day mastering Of course.
Navigating the new financial frontier.
Yeah, because it's like if you don't know how this thing was formed and you don't know where we're at with it now, and then you don't know the emerging piece to it, then you won't be sold on why this is important.
Mhm.
Everything you need is inside this academy right now. Everything is inside the academy.
Talk to him.
Education is the only thing that's going to free us as a collective because our counterparts aren't even educated in this. The big financial guys, and I know them, they're just now calling me. They're like, Steve, you was right about that. Damn, you've been saying this for 10 years. They're just now getting the inter-office memos.
Yep.
Now they're being trained on cryptocurrency. Law enforcement, now they're being trained on cryptocurrency. It is education is going to be the key to the penetration. So today I posted a video with Nipsey Hussle going back to 2017,
Yeah. Hmm.
right? Where Nipsey was on it and he was like, listen, it was, I think at that time it was only like 2% of crypto penetrated the market. And he was like, listen, nah, this thing is going to blow up, even to the point where he went out to Amsterdam because they saw the innovation. So he was on it. If he was here today, we'd have more people invested in the culture
For
because
sure.
he just has a stronger reach. It's all going to be rerouted to cryptocurrency. This was a blessing right here. And that's the thing too. When you look at even when you look at the cryptocurrency AI narrative, the sectors in AI,
Yeah.
those are cheaper models to run. Those models are even cheaper than the model the way China played it.
Yeah. For sure. And it's open source. Most of these things are open source, so anybody can build on top of them. That's what makes it
Drop the
crazy.
project for them to research that we just bought today again. And again, I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just telling you that Champ and I bought it today. We've been had it. We called it since like 9 cents.
Yep.
It's
Absolutely.
27 cents right now. Pull out your pen and pad. Don't ask where to buy it. And
Facts.
nobody answer that question when somebody puts that in the comment.
Nobody. Don't answer that.
Send them to the academy, to the course, or you just Google where to buy it. Or you even go to Chat GPT. Use the AI for it.
Yep. So
Okay. Drop
so
it to them.
the name of the project, the ticker is TAI. The name of it is TARS AI. So it's the first artificial intelligence and only artificial intelligence project that exists on the Solana blockchain. It's got powerhouses it's connected to. And Steve gave me some news earlier today that I didn't even know about. Today I was a little, occupied. But when I say the news that came out about that joint got me super hyped. We instantly was like, nah, it's go time. We buying more. And it's not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. We're just telling you what we know. All right. This is for educational and informational purposes only. Make sure I sprinkle that in on there.
Right.
When I tell you this is a project that we gave them, you know what I mean, a while ago. Steve actually I'm the spot guy, but Steve actually called this one. And this one was what, 9 cent?
Yep, 9 cents. And I had to go back in when it was 12. Nobody was listening.
It's 27 cents right now.
Listen, it's a huge marketplace, guys. So basically today, they just launched its own GPT and the staking is active today. That project is up almost 40% today. There's nothing else green like that in the industry. All right. And then the AI agent marketplace is opening up soon. I looked at that project, research that project. It's a smart project. If you don't know anything about AI, head over to the AI Visionaries Network. It's a free AI community that we formed, and just take some of those basic courses right there. Just understand what AI is. Simple course. I don't think there's a course over 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Run through that, and then go to TARS AI and get the white paper on it.
Absolutely.
And you can actually use it. That's the other thing. I'm interacting with it now. So there's people that teach cryptocurrency, and then there's people that use cryptocurrency and teach cryptocurrency. That's who Champ and I are. We're the latter of it. We're not just professors who could regurgitate something and never worked in it. Like everything that we say is verifiable. We don't give you a project if we haven't researched it
Or used it or
or used
invested.
it,
Yeah.
right? The only downside to this is on the Solana blockchain. And we kind of our sentiment on that blockchain right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Man who just asked that exact question, like, what do we think about the flaws of Solana? Like, it's huge flaws. The network connectivity and the fact that it's always offline, that's a big problem. But here's the I guess the alternate side to it, right? One, there's a lot of money and capital that's about to flow into the ecosystem. One is going to cause other projects, other developers to come over there and create solutions for these exact problems. Now, if they never get these advancements, right? Let's just say it never happens on a Solana blockchain. What's happening in cryptocurrency as a whole? There's one word that I love to use. It starts with an I. All the OGs know it. It's called interoperability, right? There are certain blockchains and ecosystems that are literally adaptable, and they make it so easy to literally plug in with an API, and you can move and transfer your project from one blockchain into another, and you're good to go. This is the future. When I say the future of finance in cryptocurrency, this is the play. It's interoperability. Projects, you're already starting to see them. They're already working with one another. They have to, because a lot of these ecosystems, they have big flaws, but there's players that are now starting to get their just due. They have no flaws, right? They have no downside. They have no scalability issues. The network's never been down. The fees are cheap and really inexpensive. So it just makes it super inviting for this to happen. So when Steve and I both called Bitcoin and ETH meme coins, this is what we meant. There's flaws that exist with those projects, but then there's other projects and other ecosystems that are going to trump it. Bitcoin, beta test coin on purpose. That's where they have your attention. But there's a new iteration that is a better Bitcoin. And it's going to continuously happen from now until 99% die off. So this is why it's important to have the foundation, and you don't have to just focus solely on each individual project. There's no way you can learn and know about every single project. They come and go all the time. A new meme coin is created 100 times a day. You literally can copy and paste the code and create a new coin. But this is why we tell you, when you get through the foundation and you get the meat and potatoes of the information, you're investing in your knowledge. So now you know how to navigate. You know how to understand what's happening in the industry, right? It gives you greater insight. Now you can make better informed decisions, and you approach things completely different. But these projects, incredible, man. And we're giving them to you. That's why we say on these .connect calls, we give you these projects. Everything is there. We don't hold it back. So
Imagine what you get when you're a member.
it's there. New course just dropped today. It's always there. Steve just dropped in the chat so I do know we do. I do know that right now we have a couple people that's not in the academy. The link is inside the chat right now. Join. It's $50 a month. It's cheaper than a steak dinner. You really want to position yourself to learn the future of finance and what's happening right now and get context and understanding. That's where you need to be investing your information and in your understanding. Let's go. And Steve dropped a killer course, which is perfect timing. This couldn't have came out no better. Like that was all his genius right there. Like the fact that everybody is in a rush because they now know crypto's been around. Crypto's been around since 2008. Bitcoin was created. 2009, it hit the scene. Like it's been here. But the thing is, people weren't paying attention. It wasn't on anybody's radar. And even if you did hear about cryptocurrency, you just wasn't moved about it. Now you see everything forming, right? Whole crypto administration. You got all the major players, all these Fortune 500 companies lined up waiting for rules and regulations. You got international regulations happening. It's in a news cycle. You're being flooded and bombarded. This is the time. But now you want to pay attention. So now you're in a haste. You know what I mean? If all this information wasn't here, you would still be minding your business, Netflixing it, partying, popping bottles, whatever it is that everybody does, right? The life would have went on. But this course, that FOMO course, fire, quick, effective, efficient. And I took it like I was a student. Fire. Steve, you killed that. Big salute for that.
I appreciate that. Look,
Hey,
there's people buying that
y'all need that.
Tarzan. There's people trying to buy Tarzan right now. They ain't even researching.
Man, listen.
They tripping. They ain't hear me in the beginning. just watch it from the top if you came in late. Roof, Roof, you all right?
This is wild, man.
Tripping. You see the comments too, right? Guys,
Yeah.
just don't go buy it. Trust me, there'll be a pullback on the price. Just take the FOMO course. It's up 40%. You're chasing green right now. All I did was I added to a dollar cost averaging. That's the part that you guys don't realize it. So if I got in at 9 cents and I have different buying opportunities, 12 cents, 15 cents, even 27 cents, I'm not chasing my first purchase isn't at 27. So I'm a DCA, dollar cost average. And we thought about it too. I looked at the chart, and then when Champ got the rest of the info, he's like, "Nah, pull the trigger on it." All right, cool.
Yep. And that's it. Incredible strategy, but that's that's the stuff that comes with being a member and Skyton. You know what I mean?
And here's a gem for you too. When you research that company, right? You go and you find other companies that are just like it.
Facts.
Other projects, and that's what we do. We tend to look at the top 3 guys in the industry, and we look at what they do well. We look at what they don't do so well, and then we make informed decisions to know that you might invest 2 today, might be 1 tomorrow. And in crypto, usually first in is first out, especially if you got old technology. Solana's been compared to a Nintendo cartridge.
That's wild.
You might pass out trying to blow into that thing to get it to work. That's the Solana network. That's why we gave you the next iteration of that new blockchain. It's a better build.
Yeah. Compare them. See what's their free plans.
Drop it to them, Champ.
All right. I got you. And I listen.
You can just verbally say it. The next one.
Oh, the next joint.
Yeah.
You want me to give them the AI one? That's the competitor, or nah? Just
give them the Solana competitor right now. That's under $5.
Sui. So definitely gave this to y'all before as well. SUI. Sui is an incredible buy. And this is a big blockchain. This ecosystem right here has super room to grow. They working. It's got a lot of eyes, a lot of attention on it, and the capital is about to flow in. So, even though it had a little pump, this is it. Let me see where we at right now with Sui. I think Sui is right at $5.
It's in the red.
So it might be a good opportunity to catch it. $3.83 right now.
Oh man, listen, the 3 in the front. And I'm not this is not investment advice. I'm just telling you that. Based on our dollar cost average entries, that's a good price for us.
Yep. Absolutely. Now that's it.
And it's in the top 20.
Yep. Down 13% last 7 days. Yeah, that's a good entry. I like that. Anything with the 3 in, I'm with that. Pause.
Listen, when you see something down 13%, like the way that crypto works is it's going to pick that 13% back up again. Mm-hmm. Especially if it's a solid project. But if you go through the FOMO course, there's a ton of gems in there with how to read projects too. We'll do a better job. We have a course coming out that's going to show you how to effectively read projects. So it's going to give you all the research tools. It's in the foundation. We're just going to pull it out just to make it easier for people to be able to digest it. So by next week, guys, the whole beginners layout is going to totally change. By tomorrow, the enrollment, if anybody took it, you might want to go back in it again and just retake it. We just redid the whole enrollment. The foundation was shot a year ago, so we're catching some things that changed, and we want to make sure you guys are updated with it. So when the foundation is done, even just go all the way through it. Don't worry about it. We're going to tell you exactly what we changed, and then you can go back in and just retake the course. It's going to be a lot shorter. I think we're looking to cut it down at least by half the time.
Half, yeah.
So we have about 5 more courses coming for you guys. We're not talking about buying. We're just talking about like putting you in a position to make informed decisions. Slow it down. You got some Trump news for him?
Yeah, it was kind of related. There was something somebody mentioned in the chat. It's not crypto related, so I'll wait. Maybe we cut the cameras off.
XRP day was the other day.
Absolutely. That's a good one. So Community Day, for those of you who do not know what that is, so XRP just had what was called the XRP Community Day. This was I believe it was the 28th. And basically it's a big virtual event that's a global event where you celebrate XRP's role in the blockchain space, its growth, and all the innovations that it continues to drive. The event spanned across three major time zones. It was EMEA, which stands for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. It was the Americas and APAC. That's Asia and Asia Pacific. So this was, to put this in context, this is global participation. And one of the things that came out of that community day, so everybody got a chance to speak. From Monica, she's the CEO. She's the president. We had Brad Garlinghouse. We had David Swartz. There was a couple people who spoke. One of the biggest things that came out of that event was the Ondo and Ripple partnership. That's huge. When I say huge, that's huge. And the reason being is because there are a ton of treasury bills that are coming back to us. RLUSD, they actually are going to be utilizing that on the XRP ledger.
Oh
and
man,
taking
this
that.
sounds like a 1% talk right here.
It's there. I ain't gonna go too crazy, but listen, that connection point is wild. So
No, but
just
here's the thing. I just dropped the 2 links to the playbacks.
oh shit. Okay.
Let them just listen to it. I
Okay.
want this. That's the homework, guys. The links are in the bio. If you in the replay, we're gonna put those links in the description in YouTube. Those are the playbacks. And guess who bought it for us? Our brother, Crypto Insight. Crypto
He
Insight,
on.
just raise your hand.
Yeah, he
This
on.
is one of the
Got him.
sharpest guys in cryptocurrency. Who doesn't want to be known? He's smart.
I just requested you on mute.
Yo, what's happening?
My
You.
guy.
What's going on? Y'all
Camera
boys
off.
cooking. Camera off. They get the
Camera
Megazord. That's all they get is the Megazord.
What information do these people need to hear right now?
Man, listen, y'all boys cooking, man. I appreciate the value y'all dropping. And, I wanted to piggyback on what Champ was talking about because he said that magic word interoperability. And I want to chime in on that right there because so people can understand when Champ says interoperability, that means the ability for data and value to have multiple options to move and to be able to provide a function. So he mentioned, and you can see for those that may not know, I've had that Megazord icon, up for my page for a while, but I use that analogy to represent, interoperability. And you see the 5 different assets that I noticed those like 4 years ago, and they're all going to be major players in the new ecosystem. But XRP, XLM, XTC, Algo, HBAR, they all have specific niches, and they're all going to help benefit of moving data and value in this new financial system. XRP, like Champ and Steve have said so much, it's going to be your settlement mechanism for your countries and your central banks. It's also going to settle derivatives. XLM, that's going to be more your retail settlement for your businesses like MoneyGram and Visa and MasterCard. It's also going to be settling your transactions for your small central banks like the Bahamian sand dollar or, the country that's been in the proxy war, Ukraine. They have their CBDC built on the Stellar Protocol. And then you go to the third XTC. That's global trade and finance. Global trade and finance, those are a lot of your financial global trade products, back end mortgage securities. Global trade and finance is a $15 trillion industry. So they're going to tackle that. They'll also be tokenizing assets as well. Another sleeper that many don't mention, Algorand. Algorand network may be the most balanced blockchain out there. Nobody really talks about it, but you do your due diligence. You find out how much of a monster it is. Tokenized assets, already partner with the Bank of Italy.
Well, crypto. We're gonna bring you in the 1% room, so
Okay, we'll chop
yeah,
it up then.
you
But
can dial it back a little bit with these guys here. They
Yeah.
a lot of them are new, so I don't want to like put them in overdrive.
okay, Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll dial it back. But those five assets are going to be essential in the new financial system. So that
Yeah,
right
so
there.
I see you, Zoe. I see you with the notepad. I hope all those notes go away. No, there's just some things that Crypto Insight is. I've been following this brother for a while now, and we go back and forth like damn near every day. He's my favorite inbox friend, and I admire that he didn't take the role that I took sometimes, where it's like, damn, if I'd have just kept my camera off, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've shown my face a couple of times,
No,
but
for sure, for sure. But
yeah.
you're definitely not. You have a
wanna have
seat at the head of the table, right?
for sure.
You're probably the one of the brightest minds that's not promoting heavy as a business, right?
Yeah. Well, sometimes I've learned, Steve, sometimes you want to move through the shadows from time to time.
Yeah.
You share value, pop in, pop out, pop in, pop out. People that, and I've had the pleasure of, talking with both of you guys. Y'all guys are sharp, and I've been following you for a while. So, when you invited me up here, I'm like, man, I appreciate y'all because, anybody that, ask me, I'm like, you gotta hit Skyton Academy. Like they got a thorough course. They're going to break it down to you one by one, step by step. They've done the due diligence. And when you talk about, because, we've all seen a lot of people in this space, and there's a lot of people out here that got mics that don't need to have mics that don't know, I'll keep my profanity bad down, but they
Who's
don't know what
that?
they're talking about.
Who's
Now
that?
we ain't gonna call no names right now because this thing
Oh,
recorded.
listen,
I'm on
you
good
have
behavior
this
right
great
now.
spiel about opportunity costs, and I think it's a value because I love when you break it down to me all the time.
Well,
What's
yeah,
the opportunity cost for you?
opportunity cost for me is when you miss out on opportunity to benefit from not only these assets, but just opportunity in general. So I put my story up, and I was just using an example because I said this last year, said a couple of years ago, 2025. The two words that are going to resonate with majority of people are, y'all spoke on it earlier, accountability and opportunity cost. And when we talk about opportunity cost, it sounds real cute. It sounds real cliche until you put you put numbers in front of somebody's face so they can really understand what opportunity cost is and how missing out on that can change your life, but also be more expensive for you down the road. So we're going to use some real numbers. So real numbers, XRP 3 years ago was about 30 to 32 cents.
Facts.
This is a fact. You can go do your due diligence, look up 2022. I forget exactly what month, but you can go look it up. It was around 30, 32 cents. Now, if a person, let's say they just had a goal of they wanted to get 10,000 XRP tokens. Well, for some simple math, if it's 33 cents a piece, well, that's 3 tokens you can get for $1. So to get 10,000 tokens, it's going to cost you a little over $3,300. Now, I want everybody to really hone in on what I'm about to say, because this is what defined as opportunity cost. 3 years ago, 10,000 XRP tokens would have cost you $3,300. We're now January 2025, 3 years later, and that same XRP token is now $3. So for you to get those 10,000 XRP tokens that you wanted, you're going to have to drop $30,000. That, my friend, is what you call opportunity cost.
Hello.
Because time waits on no one. And for those that had the opportunity and missed out or chose to, not get in position when Steve and Champ were preaching from the choir, well, now that opportunity is going to cost you 30,000 to get those 10,000 tokens. And that's not even the bad part, because real soon, when this lawsuit's over and XRP is $10 a token, now those same 10,000 tokens cost you 100 bands. So in 3 years, you're going to see the 3,300 run up to 100,000 on the same 10,000 tokens.
In
That is the
2025?
definition. I said 2025. It's going. I'm gonna leave it alone. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it alone because I ain't gonna. We'll have another conversation. But yeah, you're gonna see $10.
Because I heard from somebody and they told me from what they said in the interview, it's going to take 30 years for it to get to $100.
I heard from that clown too, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
that this same said individual 2 years ago also said XRP had no utility. And because sometimes when people get to talking, they forget people got a shoebox full of receipts. I'll just leave it there. So,
Hey, listen,
but
I'm gonna throw his name out there too, right? Because you guys just have to just do your due diligence because
yeah,
he's a big player in the space, and he's very articulate, but we can poke holes in him. So the gentleman is what's his name again? He blocked me too. I don't even know why,
he
but
blocked
it's
you
the
too.
first time I'm ever gonna say his name. What's his page name? You could just type it to me if you don't want to say it on camera.
Oh, tall guy tycoon. Yeah. Oh,
Tall guy tycoon, right?
but I preface this and say I try not to beat on him too much. However, you can't prompt yourself like you're this go-to guru and you don't have enough information on said topic or understanding. So I say this to say, you do your due diligence. Like you need to, when you're looking at said projects, do your due diligence. Don't take nobody's, Champ and Steve are pretty thorough and they know what they're talking about, but still do your due diligence, look at the information for yourself. And then if your information matches what they said, then you have some comparables.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Steve, three
Man,
words.
this is a blessing.
Steve, 3 words. You always ask this question. Who's what?
Okay, hold on. Now I'm drawing a blank.
Who's
3 words.
teaching y'all?
Oh, who's teaching y'all? Yeah. I had
Come
to
on,
get my
bro.
stuff. Yeah, who's teaching y'all? No, listen, there's nothing against I have nothing against Tall Guy Tycoon. That's the first time I've ever said his name.
Absolutely.
Period. The brother's sharp in certain aspects, and he's part of the ecosystem. But I want to bring it up because I notice you guys are exploring other options out there, which is fine, right? I encourage everybody go into these communities, take our training first, right? Wayne does this all the time, and Wayne to come back and he's like, "Yo, I'm out of there." As fast as he enters, as fast as he leaves, because you start to hear certain things, and you're like, "I've done the research," so you don't really sit around and listen to everybody that talks cryptocurrency and crypto insight. He could attest to this. Like, do we not know within the first second if somebody knows what they're talking about? No matter what the project is, or no matter what we're talking about, within the first second, I just know it. I can feel it.
Yeah.
no, you made some good points, Steve. And that do your own research. It's not just an acronym. Like that's real life.
Yeah.
It's imperative that people take the time to understand what they're investing in, understand what they hold, because these assets are, I was talking with a gentleman earlier. He said the key word transformative.
Mm.
And I think people just take for granted the opportunity that they have, not realizing they hold or have the ability to get access to transformative assets. Like some of these digital assets are going to be sitting atop of the existing payment systems, and it's already been chosen. See, that's the beautiful thing about Champ and Steve. They've done the hard work for you. It's plug and play now. So you either want to invest into the assets and make money and set yourself up for generational wealth, or you're going to sit back and watch it happen. See, that's the beautiful thing. Like you got 3 options. You can watch it happen. You can make it happen.
Mm.
Either way, it's going to happen.
Opportunity cost. Gotta get you a T-shirt with that on there. That I love that
But
one.
you know what? I've got a couple of sayings, but this is like one of my sayings that I hold dear to my heart for the last 4 years. I'm gonna share it with you guys because this is imperative in the space we're in. Because a lot of people on this page, I'm sure that they've ran across this, but I share this with everyone. People don't value what you say or do until others deem you valuable.
One more time.
People do not value what you say or do until others deem you valuable. For example, let's say you shared with somebody this information 2 years ago and they wasn't trying to hear it from you. They wasn't trying to hear it from you, but then they go hear it from somebody else or they hear it from some media personnel and they're sharing the information that you mentioned 2 years ago. See, they valued that media persona. They valued that media page, but didn't value the information you were sharing because it was coming from you.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. That's been the last 3 years. But Donald Trump has made us more valid.
Y- y- Yeah,
I'm being
and
serious.
yeah,
He's made us more valid.
absolutely. And people have to be mindful not to get emotionally attached from things that are going on in the world. Like you have to program your mind to emotionally detach away from certain things or entities because your hate or dislike for an individual or said person can block your biggest blessing.
Put a one in the chat if this brother should come on here a little more often. He already told me he's not committing to that, but I just want to see what the people have to say today on the call. Let's drop a one, and then you could look in their insight and just
Yeah, look, peep that chat, man.
golly, look at that,
Peep that chat, bro.
Man, I appreciate the love. They showing up.
man. Listen, we just lead in truth, man. I appreciate you for even coming on here.
Absolutely.
There's a clip I wanted to share with you guys. I was gonna remix it, but I'll just play it. It'll just be the audio. The kid that goes around asking people like just random questions of how they made their wealth.
School
So
right now.
he in one of the latest ones. Listen to this.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, question for you. How old were you when you became a millionaire? I'm not a millionaire. No, I own and run a billion-dollar company. You own a billion-dollar company? Yeah. How long have you been a business owner? I'm 34, started at 16, so about 18 years. And I go all over the world interviewing billionaires and the most successful people. Could I get 1 quick minute with you for the channel real quick? Sure. What type of business do you own? Blockchain company. So what's the lesson about money that banks don't want people to know? They want you to invest in fixed deposit, but you shouldn't. Why? Because that makes banks more money. Banks make money on your money. Let me tell you that. That's how banks get richer. And that's how the rich keep getting richer, poor keep getting poorer. That's why I like blockchain and that's how I like crypto. You brought up how the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. How can somebody escape that cycle of poverty? That's why I'm saying get into Web3 because that's the only place where poor people are turning into middle class turning into rich people and getting wealthy and wealthy. So this cycle, I've seen it in the last 7 years. I know my friends who were broke until 2020. 2021 bull run, they became millionaires. 2025 bull run, they'll become billionaires. And 2025 is going to be the biggest bull run crypto will ever see. So you like crypto more than real estate? I love crypto because it's liquid. Real estate's not liquid. If you own a property for, say, $15 million to find a buyer, it'll take you a lot of time. If you own $15 million in crypto, 1 minute, you have your money out. Your last message to somebody trying to become a billionaire in today's world. And let me tell you, if you help poor people get rich, you're going to make insane money. That's what I call the fifth industrial revolution. The more good you do to the world, the more money you make. The more money you make other people, the more money you're going to make. Exactly. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
So Champ and I just happen to be at the right place at the right time. So we're not only invested properly, but we're teaching people how to make money. And I'm not saying that people aren't wealthy on here, but let's be honest. I'm not in that category.
Yeah.
This is rewarding. This is why we do it. And the narrative's changing, guys. So I'm just telling you that the louder it gets, opportunity costs. Opportunity really does cost. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Kirk killed that, man. That was it. That's the one. That was a mic drop right there. That's a bar piece.
Yeah, we could yeah, I think that's good for today, man.
Yeah, nah, I ain't even gonna restart up, man. That's it right there. We gonna end it on that love right there.
But let
Oh,
me give them one more quick little thing
okay.
because I have it. This is kind of my mantra, and I haven't been doing it in a while. So, and I have to post it today, actually. This is something I listen to every day, guys, several times a day. And I don't know why I'm so drawn to it. I actually live it, but something just draws me to it every day. And I would love for it to be your mantra too. This thing is buried. All right.
your thoughts, you change your life. If you change your thoughts, you change your life. And the thing that's so wild is whoever controls your mind controls your time. Whoever controls your mind controls your time. Whoever controls your mind controls your time. Whoever controls your time controls your mind. Controlling your whole life.
I mean, damn if I would have had a teacher like that back in the day, man. And that's really what it comes down to, guys. It's really that simple. The product of public school education, no financial literacy background, future multi-trillionaire, quite possible. And it's not about the number. I'm just telling you, like, this is straight from the mud, right? Felt that this was right the minute I heard it. So when it was introduced to me in 2015, I never took my eye off that situation. And then fast forward to 3 years ago and meeting Champ and then creating the academy to say, look, we're going to take people with us because that's just how I'm built. And I know Champ is built like that too from our first conversation. I wouldn't lead you down no path that I haven't been through and back. So when you rock with us, it's 10 years a piece here. So that's time and market. And I'm not telling you that there can't be an alien invasion that could just kind of mess up the whole world. You know what I mean? Like this, it ain't a short shot, right? Because stuff's a little nutty. But I could tell you that when you look at the financial system and just globally, it all the markings are here for that, right? The dollar's dead. The empires are, they're at their 250th year. Like everything is happening at the same time. But you got to stay the course. Because to blow up the financial system, you got to create a lot of problems. You got to create a lot of distractions. It's the first time that the information is flowing to people like us prior to those guys getting in position, even at today's prices. The real money hasn't come in yet. What's the derivative market alone, Champ?
1.2 quadrillion.
And if you just think about the asset that we keep talking about the most, even if they grab 1 to 2% of that, and I'm not going to do the market cap thing because that's not the way that we're looking at projects at all anymore.
Yeah.
We're getting in case use now. Listen, we have a 1% group, and I'm not trying to push that on you guys, but it's we're going to get back active again. Champ's been like dying to like put stuff together, but I'm like, listen, let's just take care of the beginners, right? Just get them settled in first, and then we'll get to the 1%. Those guys are fine. They landed, right? We've seen some of the portfolios. So if I tell you the countless messages that I have with people that thank me damn near almost every day, like, bro, I've never been a millionaire before. When I tell you that there's 11 wallets that was over $81 million in combined, and we haven't even started yet. So this is not a place you come just to take the information and leave. We're building a straight up hedge fund. Because when everybody has the wealth now, what we do is we come together and we build those institutions, right? No handouts. Just get the shit done. It doesn't matter what level you come in at. If you got $3, buy one of them things. And you buy one every week. Just get the knowledge. Trust me. There's going to be plenty of opportunity in here. Plenty of opportunity. Well, Champ and I could take you to 2050 when it comes to mass adoption in these projects.
Yep.
You're forgetting cryptocurrency is not about America. It is global. Most of the wealth lives outside of the country. Most of the wealth lives outside the country. And they're coming. Listen, I pray that everybody lands right in this one. And don't worry about the friends and family because they'll trick you out of your position. They'll weigh you down. Because if you're not strong-minded and you start listening to people around you like, oh, it's a this, it's a that, it's that. Listen, our first wave of group, the 3-year guys, the 2-year guys, they went through it. And now they're looking like geniuses. Everybody's calling their phone. Most won't get it, but everybody's going to be a user. So it's up to you to make the decision because we all have to use it. But there's some people that's not even going to have any ownership in this. And just because it's a liquid asset doesn't mean you liquidate it. It's an asset
Right.
class. We're moving to an asset-based society. That means the minute you sell it, you'll never get that entry point again. HODL.
Hold on for dear life.
HODL. Diamond hands. Trust me. I struggled throughout the 10 years of holding this stuff. There's times where I was just like, God, man, I got to liquid. And I held. I think the thought came to mind, like, yo, let me just get rid of it. I get it. I'm glad I didn't. I just figured out a way. Because you think selling this thing 3 years ago was easy? Shit, y'all wouldn't even pay us $27 for this. Now we can't stop selling enough of it.
Real talk. It's a blessing.
It really is. But
Yep.
it took a lot.
Oh,
So when we damn near trying to, we busting gaskets on live, like, y'all be all right. Because we all right.
real talk.
We just
Even
part of a
trenches.
championship team and that shit just happens.
Straight up.
Nobody's a victim here. Big love, big wallets.
Big
Take us
business.
out.
We standing on it forever. Let's go.
My guy, let's go.
Yo, guys, before I even get into the spill, Kurt, thank you, bro. We greatly
Wow.
appreciate you for being here. That was amazing. We appreciate you dropping that love and that insight on the people. I'm gonna drop it inside the chat. I want you guys to follow him. I'll make sure that it's in the description on the replay, but I'm dropping it in the chat for everybody here on the call. But his page is Crypto Insight. It's KCRYPTOINSIGHT. And you're gonna see his same. I left him up here pinned. You guys are gonna see the same screensaver as his profile picture. Follow him, turn on the notifications, engage with the content. That's family. You guys know how you give it up. And this is just what we do, man. It's time to form like Voltron. All right. So today, DEI, Deepseek AI, crypto updates, and we got blessed. Big
Crypto
Kurt in
Insight.
the building. Another one for the books, guys. Replay will be up. We appreciate y'all. If y'all enjoyed this on this call, drop a fire emoji. And when this replay get up, we need comments. We need like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. All right. We'll see y'all on the next one, next Wednesday, same time. Let's go.